Hello. Welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy today's short story, Gracie, by Olivia Julius.
Six months later. The moving van pulled into the depressing-looking trailer park. I stepped out of the trailer that Mom and Dad had just bought and watched as the moving truck looped around the trailer park's parking lot and finally stopped in front of the trailer. We had beaten them here by a few minutes. Just barely enough time for me to look around inside of the small trailer. We went from a large 4-bedroom house in Springfield, Illinois to a small 2-bedroom trailer here in Indianapolis. Mom says it's for the better. That it will help us start fresh, but all I can see is the stark contrast between our old life and our new one. Gone are the spacious rooms filled with memories, replaced by cramped quarters that barely seem big enough to hold all of our belongings. As I stood outside the trailer, watching the moving truck unload our boxes and furniture, a sense of sadness washed over me. It felt like leaving behind a part of myself, a piece of my identity tied to the familiar surroundings of our old home. Mom and Dad were busy directing the movers, their faces lined with exhaustion and resignation. They had put on a brave front since Jessica's passing, but I could see the toll it had taken on them, the weariness etched in the lines of their faces. I sighed heavily, the weight of grief settling heavily upon my shoulders once more. Moving to a new place was supposed to be a fresh start, a chance to leave behind the pain and sorrow of the past. But as I looked around at the desolate trailer park, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were running away from our problems rather than confronting them head-on. With a heavy heart, I stepped inside the trailer, the familiar scent of cardboard boxes and dust greeting me as I crossed the threshold. The interior was small and cramped, a far cry from the spacious rooms of our old house. I wandered through the empty rooms, each one a stark reminder of the life we had left behind. Gone were the familiar furnishings and decorations that had once filled our home with warmth and comfort. Now, all that remained were bare walls and empty spaces, a blank canvas waiting to be filled with new memories. As I made my way to my new bedroom, I couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness at the thought of leaving behind my old life. Everything was changing so quickly, and I struggled to keep up with the whirlwind of emotions swirling inside me. But amidst the sadness and uncertainty, there was also a glimmer of hope, a faint ray of light shining through the darkness. Maybe, just maybe, this new beginning would be exactly what we needed to heal and move forward. With that thought in mind, I set to work unpacking my belongings and making this new place feel like home. It would take time, I knew, but I was determined to embrace this fresh start with open arms, to turn this empty trailer into a sanctuary of love and belonging. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the trailer park, I took a moment to survey our new surroundings. Despite the dreary facade of the trailer park, I couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope stirring within me. Perhaps Indianapolis held the key to a fresh start, a chance for our family to heal and grow together. And though the road ahead would undoubtedly be filled with challenges and uncertainty, I knew that if we faced them together, we could overcome anything. With a renewed sense of purpose, I turned towards our new home, ready to embrace the journey that lay ahead. For though the path may be fraught with obstacles, I was determined to carve out a new life for myself and my family in this unfamiliar city. As I stepped inside the trailer, the sound of boxes being unpacked echoed in the empty space, a symphony of new beginnings and endless possibilities. And as I looked around at the bare walls and empty rooms, I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement stirring within me. Mom took out Jessica's urn from the traveling box that it was placed in before we left. Jessica had a fear of being buried, so she asked to be cremated instead. Half of her ashes were here in Indianapolis, the other half was scattered in a memorial service at the high school in Springfield. The urn sat solemnly on the mantel of a fake fireplace, a silent reminder of the precious life we had lost. Mom gently wiped away a stray tear as she placed a small bouquet of flowers beside it, a simple yet poignant tribute to Jessica's memory. I watched silently, my heart heavy with grief and longing. It felt surreal to see Jessica's ashes in that urn, a tangible reminder of her absence. Despite the passage of time, the pain of her loss still cut deep, a wound that refused to heal. Mom placed a comforting hand on my shoulder, her touch a silent reassurance in the midst of sorrow. Together, we stood there, lost in our own thoughts and memories of Jessica. As the day wore on and the last of the boxes were unpacked, a sense of exhaustion settled over us. The trailer was beginning to feel more like home, each room slowly taking shape with familiar belongings and cherished mementos. As evening descended upon the trailer park, Mom prepared a simple dinner for us, the comforting aroma of homemade soup filling the air. We gathered around the small dining table, our hearts heavy yet filled with gratitude for the simple pleasures of togetherness. As we ate, and as we did so we talked about my first day of school tomorrow. I ranked highly in my placement test. Somehow the schools here in Indianapolis think I'm smarter than the average 4th grader. So smart that they suggested that I go to a small private school called Little Ridge Elementary. I wish Mom would have let me take off school for this week, get used to the area, unpack a little more. Maybe relax after the big move. But Mom is making me start this week. Since the school is only having a 4-day school week this week. I rolled my eyes at this. Next week they were also having a 4-day school week, I reminded her. But Mom was firm. As my bedtime got closer, I was still digging through my boxes full of clothes. That is when I stumbled on it. There at the bottom of the box was a pair of pink sleeping pants that Jessica handed down to me. I grabbed them and quickly put them on. The soft fabric of the pink sleeping pants enveloped me in a sense of comfort and familiarity, a tangible connection to Jessica that I hadn't realized I was longing for. As I slipped them on, memories of lazy Sunday mornings and whispered secrets flooded my mind, a bittersweet reminder of the bond we had shared. With a sigh, I curled up on my bed, the warmth of the blankets cocooning me in a sense of security. Despite the weight of grief that still hung heavy in my heart, I couldn't help but feel a glimmer of peace wash over me. As I drifted off to sleep, the soft rhythm of my breaths mingling with the gentle hum of the trailer park outside, I knew that no matter how far apart Jessica and I may be, her presence would always be with me, a guiding light in the darkness of the night.